Next problem up, and we're going to tackle this with the same grace that we have been, starting with the question sentence first. So here it says, how many meters of fencing does he need? So we're not explicitly told really anything. We're just told how many meters of fencing we're going to need. So hold that thought, everybody. We're going to really highlight that. How many meters of fencing? So here's a tip. Don't try to solve the problem by just reading the question sentence. We need the rest of the information too. If you're hung up on that and they don't give you a specific math word, just take a little mental bookmark and go ahead and look at the information. So what do we have? We have a farmer that needs to put fencing around a rectangular field that is 22 meters long and 13 meters wide. So let's think about that, everybody. Let's think about what we're actually trying to do here. I have a rectangular farm here. Okay. And we have this, we have this rectangular fence. Okay. And we're trying to put fence around the rectangular field. So I want to put it from here to here, from here to here, from here to there, and lastly from here to there. Everybody, what's that word that's escaping me, that specific geometry term that describes the distance going around a shape? What is that term specifically called? You might just have it in your notes. Yeah, perimeter. We're looking for the perimeter. This is a great example where they don't have to explicitly tell you, hey, find the perimeter. All we said was, oh, we're talking about fencing around a rectangle. That should give away, or that should be enough that, yeah, we're dealing with the perimeter. Again, because we are going around to make a fence. We're talking about distance here. So in that sense, let's write that formula. We have two of the lengths here and here, so double the length plus double the width, and our formula is complete. So with that said, let's plug in what we have. We see we have 22 meters for the length, 13 meters for the width, and I'll plug those values in. Perimeter equals 2 times 22 plus 2 times 13. When I continue the math, we have 2 times 22 being 44, 2 times 13 ending up being 26, adding 44 and 26. That makes a 10 right there, carry the 1. 4 plus 2 plus 1 is 7. So this ends up becoming the perimeter is 70 meters. And that'll give us answer choice B is the correct answer. Not answer choice A, because that's the area, and we were not asked for the area. It is answer choice B, 70 meters. All right, so next question. In this question, we're going to, no matter what, understand the goal. Like, what do we want before we get into everything else? So here it says, what is the ratio of boxes to carts? Okay, cool. So again, ratio of boxes to carts, that is the end goal. So when I write this out, I'm going to say boxes and then carts. So here's the problem. The problem is, well, the ratio that we're given is the ratio of boxes to shelves first. That's a little bit of an issue. Right here, boxes to shelves, 3 to 8. So I'll write boxes to shelves. That's going to be 3 to 8. And then over here in blue, I'm going to see that the ratio of shelves to carts, like this, is 12 to 5. So if we want to know the ratio of boxes to carts, everybody, if we wanted to know that ratio and all we were going to do about it is just overlap these, you might be convinced that the answer is 3 to 5, but that's not the case. It's not the case because, everybody, the middleman, to be able to make that kind of jump to just compare and overlap two ratios, the only way you can overlap ratios is if the middleman is the same value. Everybody, that's not the case here. We don't have the same value. This is 8 for shelves. This is 12 for shelves. We got to get the same number. What can that number be? What can both 8 and 12 multiply up to get that comparison going? Yeah, they can both multiply up to 24. Think about it. 8 times 3, that's 24. 12 times 2, that's 24. So boom, we have the number we can get up to such that we can do that overlap. So when we get this going, all we have to do over here, let me just move this up. We're going to have 8 multiplied by 3, and we'll multiply everything else by 3 to give us 9 to 24. And then over here, we'll multiply by 2 on the left and the right to get 24 and 10. So now we have boxes to shelves being 9 to 24. And then we have shelves and carts being 24 to 10. Now that we have this going, guess what we can do now? We can absolutely overlap this because it's going to be 24 for sure. Look at that, nice and clean. And now we can make that proper comparison between boxes, which is 9, and carts, which is 10. So there's our ratio, 9 to 10. And that's why the correct answer for this problem here is answer choice A, 9 to 10. All right, next question. So in this next question, we'll begin as always by reading the question sentence first. And it says, how far did the train travel in total? So this is a good one here because we're not talking about finding the ending distance. We just want the total distance, and that makes things a little easier. It means that we're just going to add up the distances that we're given. If we're given distances, which we're not, we see that we're given time and rate, and then we're given time and rate. 2 parts for this freight train, and so now we know we need to get the total distance, but before we can get the total distance, we need the first distance and the second distance so we can add them together. That's the point here. So let's get it done. So for the first part, we see that it's 4 hours at 55 miles an hour. So we can go ahead and just write that right over here. Distance 1 equals 55 times 4. Then for the second distance, we see that right over here in green, 3 hours at 70 miles an hour. And so we can say that D2 equals 70 miles an hour times 3. So now that we're here, we'll go ahead and perform the calculations, add them together, and we're done. Just like that. The easier one is 70 times 3, so I'll just go ahead and write the 210 miles there. And then on the left side, we have 55 times 4. And when we perform that, that should give us 220 with some mental math because 50 times 4 is 200. 5 times 4 is 20. 200 plus 20, that makes 220. But if you want to see it straight up, I got you. No problem at all. 55 times 4, 5 times 4 is 20. 5 times 4 is 20 again. Bring the 2 back to get 22. So there we go. We have our first distance and our second distance. Now we'll add those together, 220 plus 210, and we're good. Correct answer here is 430 miles, and we have that total distance. Nice and easy, which makes it answer choice A. And there we are.